Okay, so Mo, since you don't want to talk on the topic, you can skedaddle with your little, scaredy man routine. Okay, so why don't you go back to the audience, Mo, since you are a little scaredy cat.
I guess. I mean, we were having a good conversation. You come in.
Bye bye, bye bye, bye bye, girly man. Okay, Mark, or how do you say your name? Zarkabard?
Yeah, that's good. Thank you. How are you, sir?
I do be fine at the moment. So, are either
That's
of
good.
you atheist? Are either of you atheists?
Yes, I am.
Okay, why?
Um, because I don't believe in any God.
That doesn't tell me why.
You want to know why I don't believe in any God?
Did you not understand? I said, why are you an atheist? Well, because I don't believe in God. Well, that's what an atheist is. That doesn't tell me why
Mm-hmm.
you don't. That doesn't tell me why you don't believe.
Oh, well, okay. Well, religion is just a product of culture, and that's it.
Okay,
It
that's the genetic fallacy.
mm,
You know what the genetic
okay.
fallacy is?
Mm,
The genetic fallacy is that because people use incorrect reasoning in order to get to a conclusion, therefore the conclusion is false. That's the genetic fallacy.
why would be a wrong conclusion?
Did you understand what I just said? Your reason is the genetic fallacy.
That's not the genetic
Mm-hmm.
fallacy, Darth. You got that wrong.
Yeah, it is the genetic fallacy. The genetic fallacy is that because people use incorrect reasoning to a conclusion, therefore the conclusion is wrong. Okay? Okay, that's the genetic fallacy. Look it up, Mark.
I did. You're wrong.
Okay, Mark, if you lie again, I will move you from the stage.
No, you just block everyone who can argue with you. You go for white belts.
Mark, listen to me. I quoted you the genetic fallacy. It was almost verbatim from William Lane Craig. William Lane Craig has a PhD in philosophy and a PhD in theology. Is William Lane Craig when he stipulates what the genetic fallacy is?
Is he what?
Shall I read it to you? Okay. Here, let me go to the interweb. Okay. Give me a second.
You dismiss something based on a source. That's not its content. That's the genetic fallacy, Darth. Dismiss something based on a source, not its content.
Okay. The genetic fallacy, arguments or information are dismissed. That means the conclusion based solely on the source of the origin. Well, the source is incorrect reasoning. That's the genetic fallacy.
No, it's not. The source.
Yeah, and Mark,
you're wrong.
listen to me. Mark, listen to me.
I'm listening.
You look. If you
Wait,
want
let me
to
hear
troll,
something.
you're going to be removed from the stage. This is literally the genetic fallacy. Okay. An
I just read
argument.
you the genetic fallacy and you didn't use it
Listen to me
correctly.
carefully. Listen, if you bicker with me one more time, I'm going to remove you from the stage. Okay. Don't overtalk me. The genetic fallacy is an argument or information. Okay. An argument in this case is your reasoning as to why God is false. Okay. Or true. Are dismissed based solely on the origin rather. So let's say we have a person who is incorrect reasoning, saying, well, God exists because monkeys are hairy, right? Okay, or for that matter, God doesn't exist because monkeys are hairy. Either way, the conclusion is rejected because of the origin or the reasoning behind it is false. Kai Nielsen, who wrote the Encyclopedia Britannica entry for atheism, stated in one of his books, all of the reasons for God may fail, but it still may be the case that God exists. Okay? So the genetic fallacy is that the reason behind somebody's conclusion is incorrect reasoning. That reasoning, the source of the conclusion, is incorrect. therefore the conclusion is incorrect. This is clearly and unequivocally the genetic fallacy. If you deny it, it'll make it clear that you're trolling and you're lying. Okay, so we're going to move on. So Zarkabard, that's the genetic fallacy. Okay, the fact that people use incorrect reasoning to conclude that God exists, it doesn't follow from that God doesn't exist. That's called a non sequitur. Okay.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Thank you. I mean, we have archaeology, we have studies, we know where religion come from.
Yeah. This
It's
is
like I'm sorry.
still the genetic,
Just like
fallacy.
I'm sorry. Let me just finish. Like, to me, my perspective is like, whatever you say, I will accept it because that is your reality. That's what you believe. I will only tell you the information is there. You can look it up. You can just see that it is what it is. If you want to still believe in God, hey, I respect you. You tell me it's my fallacy, whatever you think it is.
I'm still waiting for you to explain to me why there's no God.
I mean, it's really not that complicated, sir. It is an invention from people. It's not really that different from Santa Claus, for example.
You're just
I'm not.
repeating
I'm not trying to. I'm really sorry, but
you are repeating
it's what it is. I'm not.
Wow, are you a little child? How old are you?
I am 36, but what else do you want me to say? I am.
Listen to me. I'd like to have a conversation with you instead of you talking past me. Now, you keep on restating the genetic fallacy, that the origin of the conclusion is questionable or faulty, therefore the conclusion is false. That's the genetic fallacy.
Can I? Okay. Can I say something? Maybe a little bit about my background can make sense. I'm a psychologist. I specialize in psychoanalysis. To me, okay, but let me just clarify. Like, to me, whatever you believe is your. It could be Freudian and Lacanian. Yeah. So to me, whatever your belief in God is because you were born in what? Are you born in the U.S., right?
Okay, yeah. This is the genetic fallacy.
No. Okay? Can you answer me that question? Because I answered your question. Are you born in the U.S.?
Yes, I am.
I mean, it's your culture. You were born in a place where your God is the God from the Bible. It's really not that hard.
Well, first of all, what country were you born in?
I am Mexican.
Okay. Are most people in Mexico God believers?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So how is it that you're not a God believer?
Well, I used to be. Actually, it was a really good time. So, I went to the.
So your culture doesn't necessarily determine your adult beliefs. Now, what you are saying here is that listen. If you're an educated person, then I expect you to act like an educated person. Now, I've just explained to you if you have a PhD in psychology, okay, is that correct? You have a PhD in psychology?
I don't have a PhD. I have a major in psychology.
Do you have a master's?
Major.
What is that?
It's like a master's. Yeah, it will be a master's.
It's a master's degree. Okay, in what?
Psychology and psychoanalysis.
Okay. Well, I've never heard of a master's degree in psychoanalysis. Never heard that at all.
Okay.
I don't even know that exists. I know that there's they have master's programs in psychology, but not a master's degree in psychoanalysis.
Okay, but
did you get on your diploma? Does it say a master's in psychoanalysis?
Yeah, I do have a professional schedule
Oh,
and everything. What?
okay. I'm gonna Google this right now. Okay,
Yeah.
master's degree in psycho. And now let's see here now.
What?
Let's see. I'm looking this
What's
up here.
going on? What?
Okay, let's
You
see.
you, you don't believe that you
No,
don't have that in the US?
no, I've never heard of a master's degree in psychoanalysis. Okay, let's
Ah,
see.
that's weird. Okay.
Oh, okay. New York Graduate School of Psychoanalysis. New York Graduate School of Psychoanalysis is the only regional accredited degree granting a graduate program offering a Master's of Arts in Psychoanalytic Studies. Okay, all right.
Well,
Okay,
psychoanalysis, let
not
me
really
just clarify
interested.
this to you.
I'm not interested
Why,
in discussing this anymore. I'm not
why are you
interested in.
Googling that?
I want because I've never heard of it before.
All right.
Now,
What?
uh, now, if you're truly an educated man, I expect you to act like one. Now, I've already explained to you that if you have a master's degree in psychology, then you should be acquainted with basic concepts of logic and reason. Telling me that the conclusion is false because of the origin, that doesn't necessarily follow. Okay, that is called the genetic fallacy. Okay, so do you
That's
have any
not.
other? Do you have? Hey, listen. If you're an educated man, I expect you to act like one and not to lie like a teenager. What you are presenting is the genetic fallacy, that a line of reasoning, its source, okay, because of something's source, okay, is called into question. Therefore, the conclusion is necessarily false. That is the genetic fallacy, okay? So I think I've made it clear. This is not something that I've made up. You can go onto the internet and you can look up the genetic fallacy. So when you say God does not exist, because people use faulty reasoning to conclude that's God. You know what? Let's say, for the sake of discussion, that every single person used faulty reasoning to come up with the existence of God. It still would not follow that God did not exist. Is it possible in a world where God exists that He did not reveal Himself, and yet people mistakenly came up with faulty reasoning that God exists? Is that possible? Is that situation logically coherent?
I mean, I guess it is, but then
Good.
again,
Stop right there.
okay.
Stop right there. Now, you just agreed with me. You can no longer talk about that God doesn't exist because people used faulty reasoning and then concluded God exists. So, do you have any other reason why God doesn't exist?
I have, but you will have to let me talk a little bit. Is that okay with you?
I would like you to explain to me why God does not exist.
I will tell you. Whatever your reasoning and your fallacies, whatever you're telling me, it really doesn't matter. It's just your culture. That's where you're coming from.
That's the
There is
genetic
no other word.
fallacy. You've already mentioned this.
I
We're
mean,
not going to go over this again. Stop. That's the genetic fallacy, my friend.
wait. Let me just tell you
Yeah,
something else.
please don't go over this again. You've been over this. That's the genetic fallacy.
Okay, then can I ask you something?
You can, after you tell me what your reason is that God doesn't exist.
Okay, we as a humans, um, on psychology, on biology, on whatever terms you need, we as humans, we do not see reality as it is, right? We see
How
reality
how
as
do you
it
know
is. Let me
how do you know that?
let me, what?
How do you know that?
Oh, that is a science fact. I mean, we are not designed to see reality as it is. We are designed to see reality as we need it to see in order to survive. How do we know that? We cannot see, for example, infrared light. we cannot
Yeah.
see in the night.
Yeah.
Let
Can you
me
get to listen?
well,
My patience is running out. Can you get to the
okay,
point?
well then let me finish, please.
I
Okay.
don't need a lecture. Just
So
get to the point.
I'm getting to my point.
Get
We're
to it.
not made to see reality as it is. Every concept that we create with our brain is just a limited creation of our mind. We are not able to create something bigger than God because we're not able to think in anything bigger than God. It's like we're not able to think.
It doesn't follow
We were
from
not
that.
able to think.
You're
Let me
wasting.
just finish. Let
You're
me just
wasting
finish. Let me
time.
just finish.
You're not talking. You're
No,
not
let me
talking
just
to a
finish.
fifth grader here. No, you're monologuing. You're
No,
not
but
getting to the point.
I'm trying to. But you were allowed to be talking a lot. Let me just finish, please.
Yeah, hurry
So
up because you're wasting my time.
there are some. Of course, there are some things that we cannot perceive or understand, as for example, the fourth dimension. Right? We have uh, like an idea of how it would be, but we are not really designed to see it how it is. So that will be an example to see that we are not designed to see reality as it is. So whatever invention we create is just limited to our brain. So to me, God is just an invention of the brain, and that's it. You may say whatever fallacy I create. From this point on, I'm going to accept whatever you say because I understand that it is your reality, but it's just not true.
Yeah, Zarkabard. Again,
Yes, sir.
You're repeating the genetic fallacy. Okay. Now, do you have anything other than the genetic fallacy as to why God doesn't exist?
I mean, I only have the explanation that reality exists and we created gods to explain some stuff.
Okay.
Reality. That's it.
Listen. When you
Yeah.
say reality exists,
Mm-hmm.
okay, do you realize how silly that is? Reality is just stuff that's real. Say things that are real exist. Okay, yeah. How's that informative? It's not. Okay, reality.
I mean,
reality is a term about things that exist. So when you say reality exists, that's not informative.
Can I ask you something then?
Now, you can momentarily, but I'm waiting for you
Okay.
to stop repeating the genetic fallacy. Now, other than the genetic fallacy that you've given me two different versions of, can you please tell me why God does not exist?
I mean, I will be saying the same stuff, really.
Well, that's
I don't have anything new to you.
If you're an educated man, that's a genetic fallacy. So then you don't have rational grounds that God exists.
But no, but I mean this is not a conversation. I mean, if I am giving you an explanation, I will expect you to give me a proper response, not just like this is a fallacy. Like, give me, please. Just give me a proper explanation, please.
Look, you're bickering with me. If you claim you're an educated man, I expect you to act like one instead of a teenager.
I'm sorry.
Now, I've explained to you already. I've explained to you in detail why it's a fallacy. I didn't just say it's a fallacy, it's a fallacy. I explained to you why it's a fallacy. Okay? Telling us that gods are made up, okay, is a fallacy. Okay?
Do you think that every other god is made up?
Okay. I'm still waiting for you. I want you to listen.
Can you please answer me that?
Dude, listen to me. Do you understand that my patience is running out with you? Okay, you're not talking to me. You're talking past me. What I believe right now, I'll be more than happy to explain to you what I believe momentarily. I'm waiting for you to give me a rational basis why what is ultimate is not God. Telling me that people using faulty reasoning came to believe in God, or people came to believe in God because they came from a culture that believed in God, is the genetic fallacy. I've explained to you in detail why that is a fallacy. Now, do you have any rational basis that God does not exist? And please don't repeat the genetic fallacy.
Okay, I will not. I will go to a happy conclusion so we can both agree. Okay, if we cannot see reality as it is, maybe God exists, but we can never see how he is. He's undescribable to us. Maybe he's not
How do
even the
you
Catholic God.
how do you know we don't see reality as it is? How do you know that?
Well, I will give you an example. I cannot see infrared light. Can you see infrared light?
Okay. Okay. Can I see infrared light? No, I can't.
Yes. Okay. If we had a body that could see reality as it is, we will be able to see infrared
Oh,
light.
okay. So you're an
Okay.
empiricist.
So,
So you're an empiricist?
um, well, it's logic, isn't it? Like if
Do
I
you
had a body to be
you're not you're
created to
not you're
see
not you're not
reality
under
as it is.
you're not understanding. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. You could say I am an empirist. Yeah, I would like to touch and perceive things. Yes.
Okay, so you only believe things that are worthy of belief. You said we don't see it as it is. Well, the moment you have
Um.
sense data, let me finish. The moment we
Yes.
have sense datum, this is not automatic. It has to be filtered with certain mental states. So nobody sees reality as it is merely from sense datum. All observations are almost instantaneously interpreted or inferred. Okay? Now, if you're going to say that if we infer something, therefore if you don't infer something, therefore we don't see reality as it is, right? That's a problem, sir, because all observations are inherently theory laden. Okay, you can't see those underlying theories. Okay, but when you say we can't see, how shall I put it? We don't see reality of what it is in its totality. Yeah, well, so what? How does it follow from that God doesn't exist?
Well, okay. So if we cannot perceive the universe as it is, and this is actually very interesting because this is the reason we don't understand it fully. I mean, there are so many
Do
things
you
that we're
do
not
you
able to
understand? Do
perceive.
you
Like,
understand
for
anything?
example, that
Do you can you
uh,
tell me? Can you tell me what dictates what a rock is?
what dictates what a rock is.
In your God-free world, is there something that is
Mhm.
identifiable? Okay.
Well, in psychology, we
Hold, hold,
have this.
hold
Okay.
on. I'm not. Wow,
Oh,
dude.
sorry.
If you're an
Uh,
educated man,
so
you're not acting like one.
I thought you finished your question. Sorry, go.
Now, when you look at this stuff all around you, you've decided that it's not God's stuff, that it doesn't indicate God, correct?
Well, yeah, usually yes.
Okay. Can you tell me how you determined it's not God's stuff?
Because in my perception of reality, God is an invention from
Okay. You're yeah. Do you
previous
understand?
people.
Do you understand? You're repeating the same. I've explained to you. You're committing the genetic fallacy.
But that is the reason. I mean, you can
Hold
say
on a
whatever
second.
you
Hold on
wish.
a second. Listen
If
carefully.
I go to a,
Listen carefully. If you're an educated man, you'll prove it right now. If I had a pocket calculator that was malfunctioning, that it wasn't operating correctly when it did addition, okay? And somebody gives me some numbers, right? And the calculator is faulty, right? And I say, what's 10 plus 5, right? And we know with certainty that the calculation is the calculations in the calculator are not working correctly, but it spits out an answer of 15. The answer would be correct, even though the process behind coming to that conclusion in the calculator is wrong.
but
Okay,
to
so
me,
the conclusion. Do you want? Listen, I'm beginning to believe that you're lying to me. That you have
no,
a master's degree. Now,
I have an
you will
answer for
keep
that.
on
Can I
repeating.
answer that?
Wow, dude, you are like a child. Listen to me. Stop repeating the genetic fallacy. Do you realize you have committed the genetic fallacy?
Let me answer what you say. please.
Do you realize you have committed the genetic fallacy?
Okay, yes. Let me answer
Okay,
what you say. You are giving me, sir.
Are you going to repeat the genetic fallacy again?
No, because I'm going to answer what you
Okay,
say.
good. Now we're gonna move. Now we're gonna move on. Okay, God does
No.
not exist because.
I want to answer what you said. Can I?
No, sir. Listen to me. You are lying to me. You are not an educated man because you are behaving like somebody who doesn't even have a high school diploma. Now I will ask you a
Can I
question,
please
and I will
answer
shut
that?
up, sir. I'm going to ask you a question, and then I'm going to shut up. Tell me why God does not exist, and don't repeat the genetic fallacy. Go ahead.
Because on your previous argument, you were saying that believing in God is basically winning the lottery. I mean, you have a trillion of gods, and by a chance, you got the right one. So to me, the argument of winning the lottery doesn't work.
Okay, well, first of all, who said
That
believing
was
in
your
God
argument.
is it? No, I didn't make that argument. What are you even
Yes.
talking about?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, dude, you are.
Yes, you did.
You know what? You need to get some. You need to get some therapy because that's not what I said. Now,
Can I tell you why?
Tell me why. Well, okay, was that faulty? If I did say that, which I'm not conceding I did, but if I did say that, would that be faulty reasoning by which I concluded God existed?
It will be 1 in a trillion, and I will not buy
Okay.
that. But if you
Okay.
want to
Listen.
believe that, yes,
You know what?
go ahead.
I am exercising extreme patience with your bad behavior and your argumentativeness, and you claim you're an educated man.
You are
Now,
saying that believing in God is winning a
okay,
lottery, sir.
listen to me. I'm going to tell you one last time. Stop over talking me. The reason why I interject with you is because you're monologuing and you're repeating the same thing over and over again. Now, you repeated the genetic fallacy again, okay? Now, do you have something that is a rational grounds that God does not exist that you haven't said before? Go.
Okay, I already explained to you that your explanation of the lottery of God doesn't work for me. Can I please
Okay,
ask
all
you a
right, all right.
questions, please? Can it be my?
No, you may not. No, you may not. You can be quiet. Yeah. What? You know what? This is a sad thing. Why is it we can only find people who are atheist trolls and people who are mentally defective? This guy claims he has a master's degree. He claims he's a college educated man. I really don't believe that you're an educated person because you're conducting yourself like an ignorant person would. Now, I'm sorry I have to say this, but that's how you're acting. Okay? You keep on repeating the genetic fallacy over and over and over again. Now, unmute your microphone and tell me why God doesn't exist, and please don't repeat the genetic fallacy. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Um, I gave you my reasons. I don't have anything else to offer you. I would like to ask you the questions,
Okay.
please,
Do you realize?
if you don't
I'm
mind.
glad. Okay, no, I do mind. Okay, wait a second. All you have done the entire time is waste my time and repeat the genetic fallacy over and over again. Do you have rational grounds that God does not exist?
Look, I already give you my explanation. I would like to have a
Okay.
conversation with you and ask you a question. If you don't mind, I would
Do
like
you
to.
understand? Okay. All right. I'm about to move you back to the audience. Okay. Do you understand that what you have said so far is the genetic fallacy? Do you understand that?
I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just trying to have a
Do you
conversation with you.
understand that what you have stated is the genetic fallacy?
I mean, yes, I guess. I
Okay,
don't know. Can I ask you questions now?
then you have so far then, if what you just said is the genetic fallacy over and over again, then you haven't presented rational grounds for the non-existence of God. Do you have rational grounds for the non-existence of God?
Mm, I have one more reason. It will not be a reason why God doesn't exist. It will be basically a
I
reason why
want you to,
I think I cannot.
I want you to explain to me why, rational grounds why God doesn't exist. Okay.
I'll give you a rational ground. I think that I cannot advance in my conversation with you because of your age. Maybe I think your
I
brain
want you
has
to explain to me.
solidified,
All right.
and you're not able. Like,
Okay. 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 Now I muted your microphone.
I was talking. Why are you
I'm
doing that?
because you're being rude. I want you to explain to me why there is no God. Go ahead.
I will continue with my explanation. So I think that maybe when you get older,
Okay. All right. Now, Ty, do you think that this is an educated man? Does that sound like somebody who's earned a master's degree?
Honestly, I was confused about what he was communicating. It didn't seem to make a lot of sense. He seemed
Yeah.
a bit
Yeah.
discombobulated to me.
Yeah, to say the least. Okay, Brandon, are you an atheist?
Yeah, we've spoken before. You called me an idiot.
Okay. Well, and is there a problem with that?
No, I'm not mad about it or anything. It's just it's your opinion, and it's okay for you to have your opinion.
Do you see how happy you've made Ty tonight?
I'm,
Oh, the
I'm
way
not
these
mad at you
conversations
having.
start, man.
I'm not mad that you have that opinion. It's
Okay. Okay. Brandon,
okay.
are you an atheist?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Can you tell me why there is no supreme being, creator God?
The only example we have of a supreme being God is in the Bible. We don't see.
Hold on a second.
Yeah,
I remember you.
yeah,
I remember talking with you. Yeah.
yeah.
I remember now. I remember calling you an idiot.
Yeah, so,
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and that's your opinion, and that's okay. It doesn't. It's okay. I'm
Okay.
uh,
So tell me, God does not exist because.
the only example we have of a God is in the Bible.
Okay,
We don't
sir,
see it anywhere else.
sir. There are many people out there who do not believe the Bible, who believe that the ultimate source and basis of everything is an eternal mind. Okay,
And that they.
your position. I'm talking.
Hmm.
Okay, when we talk with you atheists, you guys always bait and switch from global atheism to local atheism. Okay, I want you to tell me why no God indeed exists. I don't want to hear any talk about the Bible. I want you to explain to me why the ground of all existence is not God. Go.
Because we. Hmm. Well, I can't say we because I mean, though I guess there are people that do experience a God, but
Well,
personally, for me, I don't.
up is sideways green as plaid, and the picture has a headache.
It's not absurd. It's absurd that some people experience a God and some people don't. Is that absurd?
I'm still waiting for you to explain to me why the ground of all existence is not God.
Hmm.
Have you solved the single most important question of human existence?
Solved it? No. Have you?
Yes, I have. Now you have determined that
Okay.
God does not exist.
Yeah, I have.
Okay, is the existence of God the single most important question of human existence?
Hmm. I guess it is.
Okay,
Yeah.
have you solved that?
course, man. I don't think anybody can.
Have you solved that problem?
I'm not, because I don't know everything.
Yeah, take the wet washcloth off your mic, please.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Okay, you are an atheist. You believe there's no God. So that means you've solved the single most important question of human existence. Now, can you tell me why no God exists?
I never said there was no God. I said I don't believe. It's the thing.
Okay, listen to me. You believe God does not exist. Explain to me why you believe that there is no God.
Because I personally haven't experienced a God.
That's a non sequitur. Do you know what a non sequitur is?
It has just saying something that has nothing to
Okay,
do with
okay,
the subject.
okay. So have you experienced the sun, the moon, and the stars, and the grass blowing in the wind? Have you experienced that?
And so you're saying those are God?
Okay, we'll try it again. Have you experienced the sun, the moon, and the stars, and the grass blowing in the wind? Have you
Yeah, so
experienced
you're
that?
saying those are God.
Okay, okay. Now, did I say those were God?
That's what I'm asking.
Okay, now you have experienced those things. Is it your view that they do not necessitate referencing the existence of God?
Yeah, because you can reference them scientifically.
Okay, listen to me carefully. Have you determined, is English your first language?
Yes.
Okay. Have you determined that the sun, the moon, and the stars, and the grass blowing in the wind, and a cat going meow, have you determined that these things do not necessitate referencing the necessity of God? Have you determined that?
Yeah, because we can reference them through
Okay.
science.
Okay. Now, what do they ultimately derive from? Okay, how did you determine that they cannot stand in causal relations to God? How did you determine that?
It's, the son was born
And
in another way other than God. The sun
this
was
is why
created
defense.
through
This
the
is
shockwave of a supernova instead of a God.
how
And
did you
okay,
determine? Okay, what do the sun and the moon and the stars ultimately derive from?
gathering of gas and metal.
Were you there?
Oh, were you there when God created the universe?
No, I wasn't, but God has designed the world in such a way that the world reveals God in an undeniable and an unrefutable manner. But you tell
Right.
me it is refutable. So, what I want to know from you is how you determined that all these things ultimately do not derive from God. What do these things ultimately derive from, and how did you figure that out?
Because science has revealed how these things.
Can you, okay, so has science determined that God doesn't exist?
Hmm. It hasn't determined God does either. It's
Okay,
both
but
ways.
yeah, listen, you just told me that science has determined that all these things come from what is not God. You see, you're contradicting yourself.
No, because it,
Listen carefully. This is why I probably referred to you as an idiot, okay? You're asserting there is no God. You're appealing to science, that science demonstrate that all these things do not come from God. Can
I
you
didn't
show
say
me? Can you show? Okay, good. Then we're going to go back again. God does not
no.
exist because
I never said
God does not
science says
exist
that God doesn't
because
exist.
God does not exist because.
Why do we go back to that? I never said God doesn't exist.
Hey, Brandon,
Okay. All right. We're
Brandon,
done. We're
Brandon,
done. No,
Brandon.
I can't take this anymore. Okay. This is all. That's all we get. We get these argumentative trolls, and we get people who have no business being on these social networks. Okay.
I think at this, you seem at this point to get the people who